It has recently been brought to my attention that we are not really supposed to film in these malls, but I'm going to see what I can do here. We are at Greenbriar Mall, which does qualify as a dead mall. Oh, yeah, you got it. So now they have a tag registration office in the mall. This is a shot of the directory here. It's got a serious glare on it though. Anyway, I'm gonna hold this thing low and just walk through here and hopefully not set anyone off. I'm also gonna try to move slower because for some reason, whenever I'm filming with the iPhone, everything is actually faster than it is in real time. So just wanted to make sure that you guys can take it in. So the qualifications for most dead malls is the parking lot will be almost completely empty. Once you get inside, a lot of the spaces are vacant where there used to be stores, and it has this ghost town-like atmosphere, which is pretty creepy. And then of course the mall usually has to be at least 20 years old because that's when a lot of the malls started to die. It was 20 years ago, and they started moving towards this new style that they're doing. You guys can see that there's not much going on. Maybe people don't care as much here, but I was recently stopped. I will show you that right here. All right, we're inside. I'm gonna drop back a little bit to show you guys a better view here. This mall still has some stuff going on. Yeah.
Yes, so it's recorded.
Really?
Yes, sir. It's in private property, so you're not able to film or record any storefronts.
Wow.
Filming yourself is okay,
Okay.
but
Okay, so we're back at Greenbriar now, but you see what I mean? Alpharetta is a different kind of town. It is a predominantly white area. Nothing racist is going to be said here. I'm just saying that they're a little bit more guarded and they take this kind of stuff a little bit more seriously. However, I was doing some filming at Atlantic Station a few years ago, which is definitely predominantly black. It's in Atlanta. And I was told to stop filming in the parking deck. I was filming like the Tesla charging stations. This was years ago. I was just trying to show some of that footage. But anyway, with this mall, it's a lot more laid back. As you can see, it's very vacant in here. But I remember coming into this mall in the 90s, and this place was completely packed, wall to wall with people shopping in all of the stores, and there was just so much more going on. Wow, it's been forever since I've walked this mall. There's a lot more going on in here now. Doing much better than Northlake Mall, I can tell you that. See if I can turn here without, I can be discreet. Now right here, you see that they obviously need to update this 50 years. They're at 60 years now. They're just approaching 60 years this August. There's security. I'm gonna have to pause it. Okay, so here's the deal. I just walked through a pretty thick pocket of people, and there was definitely one security guy who was kind of looking at me, so I put the phone down. So I kind of skipped a pretty lively section of this mall. My overall summary of this mall so far is that it's a lot more alive than a lot of other dead malls that I have featured in these videos. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of the businesses are still open here. So, pretty interesting. I mean, this section is very much dead. It's just funny to me that there was a time when people were so threatened by shopping malls, and they were talking about how they were destroying modern civilization at the time. And now they are pretty much perishing at the hands of inflation, really. Just greedy property owners and landowners who just make it way too hard to even make sense to own a business in here. Like, I don't even want to know what the rent would be, what the lease would be on this place. It's got to be insane. I keep hinting around in these videos that I'm going to post some old 8mm videos that I took way back in the day. Back in the early 90s, I did a lot of filming at various malls and various locations all around Metro Atlanta. And I'm going to start doing some side-by-side comparisons, because like a hallway like this back in the 90s, it would be totally crowded with kids and people just hanging out. It's insane to see it now. This is only the top floor, the main floor that I walked. I'm going to show you guys. Wow. See, there's a Dollar Tree out here, which is pretty interesting. And there's the... I'm going to go back in just to show you guys. As much as I can before they make me stop. Okay, from here we're going to make our way downstairs so I can show you what it used to look down there, and there's a little bit of a history lesson as well. This is an outdated directory, by the way, that I'm just kind of filming, showing you all the businesses that used to occupy this mall, but they are no more. I don't know if you guys could remember this, but I remember back in the day you would go down those hallways there, those little service hallways, and you would see all kinds of people hanging out down there smoking or doing whatever they were doing. People would just be up to no good down those little, I called those like indoor alleyways. This mall is night and day different than the malls that I grew up around that were more in the, closer to Atlanta, but on the north side of Atlanta, like Perimeter Mall, North Point Mall, Gwinnett Place Mall, Lenox Square Mall. This mall actually was more like Lenox Square, the old Lenox Square, than any other mall. Other malls that I can think of, Cumberland Mall, like Greenbriar, Lenox Square Mall, Cumberland Mall, North Lake Mall, those were considered some of the more urban malls, whereas Perimeter Mall, North Point Mall, and Gwinnett Place Mall were considered the malls of suburbia. So they were located in these areas. Like, that's where I grew up. So it was a different demographic there. You would see a lot of, there was just a different thing. Like, you would not go wandering down the stairs like I'm doing right now in this mall, because you don't know what you might get. You know, every once in a while you just run into some kids that were kind of rough, and they would give you a hard time, especially if they knew you weren't local to that area. So I always kind of just kept to my own bubble and stayed there. Interesting. I did not know that. Did not know that at all. What's up, man? Okay, so as you could see, the little downstairs area, there's nothing much to that. And this is where I started. So I walked the whole entire mall. I didn't show you a little bit of the food court area, but it really wasn't much of a food court, more like a sugar court. Meaning that it was basically like the Great Cookie Company. Anyway, I'm back outside now. I'm just gonna get a shot of this main entrance again. Probably do a drive around the parking lot just to show you guys. Okay, so this is the part where I will drive around the exterior of the mall and let you guys see what the parking lot looks like and to check the exterior of the building. So let me get you a little bit of a drive around. All right, guys, just to give you an idea of where this mall is located, the closest mall to the airport, let's put it that way. I'm gonna do a quick drive around, let you guys see what it looks like around here. Other things to mention, this building that we're about to pass here on the left-hand side used to be Riches. If you guys have ever heard of Riches or remember that company, this used to be Riches. I'm gonna show you right now. There it is. And for a while, the police moved in after Riches moved out, and they finally stopped putting stores in here. They put the police station, one of the precincts, in here. So that, once again, formerly, sorry, let me roll the window down, get a better view. This used to be Riches. So it is Riches no more. Riches to rags. How about that? And of course, as many of you might know too, if you know your mall history, Riches also became Macy's. But they moved out. So there's nothing of the sort here now. So rather than torment you guys with more wind noise, I'm just going to go on and go over a quick history. Once again, this mall was built in 1965. Riches was actually established in 1867. In 2005, they dropped the Riches name completely and went with Macy's. So, and then eventually they ended up just closing up and leaving here. Oops. And for the record, I saw this mall, not a lot, but I saw this mall 30 years ago when it was a full functioning mall where every space in the mall was a full functioning business of some sort. But that is no longer the case today. I would not completely call this a dead mall just because there's a lot more going on here than there is at North Lake Mall, which is, in DeKalb County. North Lake Mall and Gwinnett Mall are the only two truly dead malls that I have been to and filmed so far. This is it for this mall. I don't need to show you anything else. You see the deal here. I believe this here used to be a Circuit City a long time ago. Just think about that for a minute. That used to be a Circuit City. But now it's a Beauty Master. I'm sorry, but I cannot remember what this business here was. But it was something big, and gosh, I just can't remember right now. I'm gonna just keep showing you the mall itself. Oh, Piccadilly used to be here. That's right. Piccadilly Cafeteria. Look at that. That is no more. But whatever Slam Atlanta is, that's what that building is now. Slam Atlanta. There's a lot of nice stuff coming up over here though on the other side, like new stuff. Coming to a close, you can see that it's pretty much a dead mall. Are there any malls that you guys know of that are pretty dead in your area, anywhere in the world even? Like if you're watching this video and you're just trying to get an idea of what dead malls look like in the Southeast or in Georgia in the United States, then you found your place, but please share your stories. Share some of your memories, whether they be good or bad. I would, I'd love hearing the good stuff, but we got to be realistic here. But I would love to hear your stories. I mean, did you guys hang out at the mall? Depending on your age, did you hang out at the mall when you were young and growing up? Let me know in the comments below. Another thing, please also let me know, do you think malls will ever make a comeback? Do you think there will ever be a time when there's so much of a resurgence in retail that they would see the need to recreate malls? Because I think that they've kind of shot themselves in the foot personally. My view is the way these malls are now like being turned inside out. And what I mean by that is they have these areas now, these shopping areas that were all the stores that used to be in the mall, including like Apple, for example, Pandora, so like as you saw that used to be inside of this mall. But all of those shops are like now outside. So if it's a rainy day, you're out there walking in the rain trying to go from store to store. Let me know what you think about that as well. All right, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I'm going to have more of these dead mall videos out to you sooner than later.